I think people were still kind of coming in when I introduced myself. So if anybody missed the first minute, I'm Santos Ramos. I am faculty in IRIS along with Haisha. And I am interim coordinator for the leadership program. So this is the end of my first academic year coordinating the program. So I'm going to try to hit on a few different things in talking about the leadership program. I'll talk about some of the big picture stuff, but also get into some of the nitty gritty things of, what are the requirements in terms of courses and what are we actually doing in each of these courses. First, just a little bit of history on the program. So we rolled it out originally, the leadership certificate program, in the fall of 2020. So great time to roll out a program at the first full semester of the pandemic. But we were actually doing, even though it's a relatively young certificate program, we've been teaching leadership for quite a while, for a number of years in the department through our major in integrative studies. There's a leadership pathway. So a lot of these is really a different kind of formulation of work that we've been doing for a long time in IRIS. And it's been pretty popular so far since it's rolled out. I don't have the most recent statistics, but the last time that I looked, we have well over 100 students enrolled in the leadership program. And our faculty, I just wanted to give a little context here because I feel like is important. We're situated in an interdisciplinary and integrative both department in IRIS and Brooks College of Interdisciplinary Studies. So like for example, in our department, that means we have faculty with PhDs in geography, education, English literature, mine is in writing and rhetoric, philosophy. So from a lot of different disciplinary perspectives, and we feel like that's an important dynamic of the leadership program because leadership cuts across different sectors, it cuts across different disciplines. And so that is sort of central to what we ask students to do in the program as well, especially for the certificate option, because students have their majors in different areas. And so that's interdisciplinary work of taking what you learn in leadership and being able to apply it to whatever your primary focus is. And so we have students from a variety of sectors, both when they enter into our program and where they kind of go afterwards. In the corporate world, also have a lot of business owners, people taking leadership positions in the nonprofit, government sectors, education, healthcare. A lot of our students are returning adult students, so meaning they could have taken 1 year off from school or 30 or 35 years off from school, and they're coming back to gain this skill set. So there's a really diverse sort of student body in terms of the makeup, in terms of where they're coming from. Some are already have careers and they're wanting to get this added credential to advance that career. Others are wanting to transition and make a career change, right? So it's diverse in terms of who our students are, who our faculty are as well. We have 6 primary competencies that we teach in the program. I'll kind of talk about the first 2 together. And I'll actually start with number 2, structural awareness. So we want students to be able to understand the full context that their organizations are existing within and that they're existing within as individuals. So for example, if you look at racial or gender disparities in the tech industry, for example, it's a very white and male dominated industry. We want students to be researching and considering, where do those disparities come from? How are they formed historically, culturally today? How are they perpetuated? And then in terms of leadership integrity, meaning now that you understand that context as an individual attempting to follow this path of being a leader in your field, what does it mean to have integrity and try to address some of those inequities as well? Also with conflict management, so navigating conflict in the workplace, cultural competency, obviously some overlap there with Haisha's program, and that's really a core aspect of any IRIS program is how to interact compassionately and intelligently with a diverse constituency. Number 5, creative decision making. So we provide a lot of opportunities for students in the program to take what we're learning about leadership and to apply it in ways that make sense to them in their own fields. So for example, I'll talk more about one of our core courses, 341, in just a minute, but for that project at the end of the semester, we're asking students to come up with an action project that addresses a social justice issue and is kind of open-ended in terms of, I have students who create business plans, students who rewrite the employee handbook at their place of employment. So really just asking students to use whatever means they think is necessary to make some positive change and to become leaders in their fields. And then obviously communication being a big component of that, whether that's written or through doing presentations as well. So those 6 are kind of the competencies that are written in digital stone that we teach consistently. But the way that I kind of try to sum up that essence is that, of course, we want students to be individually successful in their fields. And of course, we want them to also bring success to whatever organization it is that they're a part of, but that's actually not enough. We want students to shape and transform and change their fields to become more equitable. So really it's any and all of those things together. Now, in terms of some of the requirements and just the pathway that students take through the program, we have 12 credits for the program overall, 6 credits for the core courses. I think everything that's listed, even as electives, I believe are 3 credits. So that's 2 courses, INT 312, collaborative communication, where students are looking at the theory and the practice of dialogue and working in teams and collaborating. And then leadership for social change, which is a course that I teach almost every semester, where really for the first half of the semester, we're looking at different leadership models from various social justice movements. And then for the second half of the semester, that's what I was describing before about how students are coming up with a sort of action project of their own. So taking what they will from those models that we've been looking at and trying to come up with equitable solutions. And a lot of students do it within their particular field or profession, but some students just want to tackle a topic that they haven't had a chance to learn about before. So it could be about personal growth as well. So those are our core classes. And then in terms of electives, and we have 6 more credits here, a number of courses in our department in IRIS, and then 1 course in writing if students are interested in business communication, and then also a collection of courses that really focus more on leading teams and being a part of groups and shared leadership, collective leadership. And just in terms of course delivery, I think one of the reasons that the program's been popular thus far is because there's structure, yet it's flexible. So students can take this program, the certificate program, fully online and asynchronous through the LEADS program, or they can take it in person or some kind of mixture of the two. So that's the mix of the flexibility and structure that works around. We have a lot of, again, returning adult students who have careers, who have families already. So that's why we've designed in a lot of flexibility for students into the program to try to kind of meet them where they're at and help them get these credentials along the way. So any GVSU student can earn this certificate as a part of whatever program they're working on, or they can, again, do it through the IS major. And because of the structure of the certificate, a lot of students are able to complete the certificate in 1 year or less because it's 12 credits, because it's the flexible format, and the courses are offered pretty frequently as well. So I think that's all that I had, Haisha.